Hello guys, this is MC, the Stumpy Surgeon here. With exam season right around the corner or even on your doorstep right now, here are 5 tips I use in my final year days to help me stay focused, safeguard my free time, and just get things done. Here we go. Alright guys, let's head straight in tip number 1. That's to take inventory. Know exactly what you've got on your hands. So it's really important that these projects or exams, the biggest thing about them that causes fear is the amount of material that you need to go through. So by knowing exactly how much you need to go through, eliminates that fear and gives way to more focused and efficient studying, since the stress is taken off and you know exactly what you need to go through. So what you need to do is you take out all the materials that you've got on your hands. So be it lectures, number of PowerPoints, or even pages of notes that you made yourself, and go ahead and just count them. Alright, so maybe you have 100 lectures, 200 pages of notes, or 20 PowerPoints to go through, whatever. Just make sure you have a specific number of things you need to go through. Now coming up next, tip number 2 is a very key part of the strategy, is to know exactly how much time you have, but we're going to need to break that down a bit more. It's just not just the amount of time you have for the exam, it's the amount of work time you have, amount of free time you have leading up to the exam. So go ahead and pull up your calendar right now, have a look at when your exam or due date, whatever it's going to be. Count the number of weeks you have until that day. So let's take, for example, we have 8 weeks till our final exam. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how much work time and free time we're going to need. So what I generally do is I use 5 working days per week as my unit to start with. Okay, so from Monday to Friday I'm working. All right, I'm working my ass off to make sure I get things done. But on my Saturday and my Sunday, I'm keeping those clear. All right, those are times for dating, for my friends, for enjoying my hobbies, going stroll on the park, anything. All right, it's as important as to safeguard your work time as it is important to safeguard your free time. Okay, so once you've determined how many work days you've got in a week, say let's use 5 days a week, for example, we're gonna count the number of weeks we have till the exam, so 8. So that gives us about 40 work days leading up to the exam. Okay, so we can cut that smaller into 80 half days that we can work with. Now suddenly all this becomes a lot more tangible. 80 half days, you can take that as about 3 to 4 hours per session. Now you can use that number and put it into tip number 3. Alright, tip number 3, knowing exactly what you need to do when. Alright, so we've been through tip number 1 where we know exactly what we need to get through, and we have tip number 2 where we know exactly how much time we have to get through those material. We're going to know now with tip number 3 how much we need to do exactly when. Alright, so say we've got 100 lectures and 80 half days to deal with them. Alright, so that means we're going to have to deal with 1 to 2 lectures per half day. Alright, suddenly it just went from I need to go through 100 lectures before the exam to, hey, actually I just need to go through 1 or 2 lectures in the morning. Alright, suddenly things get a lot less scary. So you know when you wake up that morning, you're just gonna get down and do that studying on that particular lecture for that half day. Alright, I have a lot of other studying tip videos. If you guys like, I can always post another one. Go ahead and like this video, let me know in the comment section what you want to know. But getting back to this particular tip, once we're done with that particular lecture in that half day, say if we only used an hour and a half, when we have an hour and a half spare, don't just stop there. All right, now's not the time to slack off. You go back to it. All right, you allocated the time to this lecture, so you got to respect that time allocated and make sure you go through it again and again until it's well ingrained in your mind, until you can confidently say that, hey, you know what, there's absolutely no more point in me reading this lecture again because I can pretty much write it out with my eyes closed. Okay, so that's the point, you know that you can stop. Tip number 4, keep a checklist of exactly what you need to get through on each given day. So for tip number 1, you got that long list of things you need to do. Go ahead and print that out. Put a side note onto that sheet of paper telling you exactly how many lectures you need to go through per day. All right, every day you get through one, go ahead and get a big fat Sharpie and just cross it off. And enjoy as you know exactly when you are a quarters of the way done, halfway done, and when you're finally finished with all that studying and you're ready to meet the monster. Alright guys, tip number 5 is perhaps the most important tip I can give you, and that's to make sure you actually safeguard your free time. Alright, guys, we've worked so hard to get to where we are today, as whether that be if you're a medic right now or you're a surgeon like me, we all worked hard in high school, in med school, whatever, even at work. All right, we're that kind of people. We're diligent, we're hardworking. That's why we're here today. But if we've already decided that we're going to keep 2 free days for ourselves, that's the 2 free days that we need to adhere to. We need to discipline ourselves to make sure we respect those 2 free days as we respect our 5 working days, because those 2 free days are going to help you maintain your efficiency, your energy, to make sure you're absorbing new material and getting things into your brain as efficiently as possible. So make it a responsibility to just go out and play, have fun. Go have coffee, go on a date, paint Warhammer like I did, or, you know, just do anything you want. In my final years, I managed to build a longbow and win an esports competition at the same time, and I still got my current placement as a junior cardiac surgeon. So go ahead and remember, work hard, but play equally hard. And guys, there you have it. Those are my 5 tips to help you survive your final exams while maintaining your sanity. Guys, this is my first ever video on this kind of topic, on time management or being a doctor, whatnot. Guys, if you did enjoy this kind of video and if it did help you at all, go ahead and hit subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment. Let me know if there's any other study routines that you think might help other people. I've heard of a lot of routines like Pomodoro, the 80-20 rule, things like this, things I'd love to hear about from you guys. All right, so guys, thank you so much for joining in today. This is MC, the Stumpy Surgeon, signing out.